Well, good afternoon to you. I'm hoping that this is going out okay. Um, as everybody knows, I'm no great shakes at this modern technology, but I like to have a go anyway. In fact, when I was racing and I raced abroad in Belgium, they used to say I was the English girl who never gave up. Wherever I was going to come in the race, I just kept going. Anyway, here we are. And, I was prompted yet again to have a few words with you because of all the terrible things that are going on. The news is dreadful. We can't get away from every day. More and more people are passing over to the spirit world. And we could say, much before their time, mostly unexpected. And, it has a terrible sort of knock-on effect to everybody else who actually maybe not directly affected by it, but to know that all those loved ones are sick and then they leave us down here is really depressing. And of course, we shouldn't ignore the news altogether, but perhaps a limited amount of it, which is what I do, because when you feel so helpless, there's nothing you can actually do about what's going on except, obey the rules which are in place, and literally hope for the best and pray for the best. So I suppose that brings me nicely to what we're doing here today. I just felt there were so many people who felt so downhearted, and I feel that as spiritualists, as a spiritualist minister myself, that we do have a responsibility to get our message across at this time more than ever, that there is more to life than just this existence here and now, here in the physical sense. Because not that we all want to rush over to be spirit straight away or want anybody to do that, but it is just something that when you grasp that fact that, we are spirit, we are beings of spirit, okay, in this, fleshly overcoat that we wear while we're here, when we move on to that next phase of our life in the world of spirit, we're suited to that. We wear a spirit mantle, our spirit body, which is suited to that finer vibration. Here, of course, it's very dense and gross. And of course, that's the world from which we came. If you think about it yourself, you'll realize that that is actually the truth. You put away from yourself all the stuff that's been crammed into you ever since you sort of became a conscious being, of how bad it is to sort of think about spirit, and you get all sorts of condemnation for particularly our kind of spiritualist practices, and you learn about all the miseries that were heaped upon people who were like the person I am, and like all of us could be. All those mediums who were put to death, all those good people who have suffered because they heard voices of spirit, like Joan of Arc. She could have saved herself if she had given up the fact that she heard spirit voices of the angels, and she could not give them up. And so she went to the stake. But it was rumoured, in fact, I think it's actually historically recorded, that not a sound escaped her lips while that was going on. And, spiritualists will understand that I'm sure that she was taken out of her body long before the body was finished with, to spare her. And that I believe. So anyway, the thing is this, that I was very interested in the fact that we could actually help people by showing them that they can have upliftment, they can have healing, and that their loved ones who are in the world of spirit are just a whisper away, and you could even say that some are in the angelic realms, because that is the case. And certainly, if you need an angel, a guardian angel, a spiritual being to look after you, that's something to know is actually a fact. How do we know it's a fact? We prove it. Spiritualism is based on proof. We prove that the human soul continues, and what is more, it progresses on its spiritual journey. And this is something that is so cheering to the heart. However down you feel, however depressed you get, however ill you get, know that there are people around you who love you, who you may not be able to see or even feel or even hear, but they are around you and they are helping you as much as they are able to do so according to what we would call the Father's will. Now, I thought that today we could actually look at angels in a way, because again, I have these angel cards, and I thought it would be a waste not to use them again, because they seemed very popular when I did some readings, using them, utilizing them as a little tool. And I got a psychic reading of them, and then I got a little spirit reading come through on the basis of that. And the fact is that we could all sit around and wait for spirit to come and speak to us or manifest or whatever. But I always used to say to my circles, you'd have a long wait. What you have to do is actually instigate that contact, instigate that communication. Don't be frightened of people to say, oh, you call up the dead. Well, if they were dead, we couldn't call them up. That's one thing I would say. And the other thing is that there is no hell and damnation awaiting any of us for doing precisely that, because it actually helps people. What it does do, of course, it takes away the mystique. It takes away superstition, because it's basically a fact of life. And we can prove what we say is true, because we have hundreds and hundreds and hundreds and thousands of mediums now out there in the world spreading the word. Even if they don't philosophize very much, or if they do and we disagree with some of their philosophies, they're still doing the right work. And like I said the other day, I watch the evangelistic preachers, and they're always talking about what the Lord said to them and the Holy Spirit said to them. And that's all well and good, but I would counsel them kindly to sit for spiritual development, for development of their mediumistic abilities, which they obviously have, but to actually understand more who is speaking with them. And yes, of course, our dear Lord will speak on occasion, but you have to put a rationale there and say, from what we know, it would be their guides and helpers. And of course, you can get some extremely elevated guides and helpers. And I would like to say at this point that mine, of course, are very elevated. They would like me to say that, I'm sure. I might even get a psychic clip round the ear from at least one of them, I know. But nevertheless, it's a wonderful, not just a way of life, but a wonderful understanding and a wonderful knowledge that actually keeps you going in the depths of despair. There's nothing to say we are not going to be despairing or upset or feel bad or feel pain or all those things, as Shakespeare said, all the ills which flesh is heir to. But this understanding of ours, our spiritualist knowledge, actually gives you that rope to hang on to when you're dangling over the cliff face. It gives you a stabilizer when you're wobbling on that bike. it keeps your edge in your skating. It keeps those edges sharp. That's what our knowledge and understanding actually does for us. So I'm only here trying to put that across. So I'm an evangelist in, of course, in the same way that all the other spiritualist mediums are. We actually take that message, that huge message out, that as darling Doris Stokes used to say, you can't die for the life of you. And, we take that as our starting point, really. And then we set about actually getting the proof. And then we talk about all the other different practices that are associated with spiritualism, which are actually uplifting to the spirit within us, this little spirit in us, which is like a little light. And we need to make that burn brightly. And so we attract only the best from the light to help us on our way. And when it comes to healing, we need to attune to that spirit to the highest we can in order to relay that healing to our fellow creatures. And here you'll notice I said creatures, so I didn't just restrict that to human people. Also our animals also are in receipt. And I must say that I've seen wonderful results in healing plants and vegetation. So I would suggest that the planet can be healed in the same way. So there you are, you see, you can keep the planet in our healing thoughts. And the other thing is this, about those healing thoughts, a wonderful medium, trance medium, that I was fortunate enough to know, Ursula Roberts. She was a wonderful healer too. And she said that healers should talk about health and not about disease or illness and so on. So, what we're talking about there is putting out all those positives. So no matter what ails all of us, we should put that layer of healing balm over the top of that, and some of it will soak through and actually have a good effect. All of it. All right, I'm sorry. Them upstairs have just said to me, no, not some, all. Okay, so I shall say all. Even if I think to myself, well, how can everybody be healed? We are all healed in our own way. You see, that's the point. So I thought that before we actually get on with, proving that there are those in the world of spirit who love us and who can actually relay info to us down here and give us little messages and things like that, that I would actually say a prayer for healing with you. So if you would like to do that, that will put us all in that frame of mind that we know, as we say, please do join me. Let's blend our thoughts together. Thoughts are very powerful things. Nothing happens here without somebody thinks of it first. You look around you. Look at the place you live in. Look at the buildings you live in. Look at every single item that is not provided by nature, per se. I'm not talking about trees and flowers and things like that. And rocks, but I'm talking about actual buildings and shelters that we make, all the engineering feats. Everything had to come into being because of a thought. So you see, thoughts are very, very powerful. And right in the beginning, God thought of the world and it was made. So there you are, you see. So let's pray together for healing for everybody. As we say, Divine Spirit, as we prepare to ask for healing for all those in need, we place ourselves in your hands and ask that we may be used as channels of the healing process. Grant us that spirit healers may draw close to us and make their presence felt, and in doing so help us to attune ourselves to them, in order that whatever healing takes place, it will be to the benefit of those in need. We pray that those who seek respite from their ailments, upliftment from their daily stress and strain, release from their sadness and sorrow, and help to overcome their sickness may receive your blessing. If it be thy will, we ask that they may be restored to good health once again. For this and all our blessings, we give humble thanks. Amen. There. So we've said our prayer. I'm sorry, I think that you just got treated to the top of my head then, but my head was bowed in prayer, as I hope that yours was too. And you know, the healing that we talk about, that we spread, we can actually practice a meditation where we give healing. And I'm not sure whether you would be interested, and I don't know if you have the time. I see it's 7:30. Oh, hi! I've just seen a couple of friends there who have been talking. Oh, well, I hope that was okay for everybody. I didn't know that I would. I think I can actually put. I think I can put your. There you are. Look. Yes, Dawn and Bernadette and Susan. Yeah, there. What fun. There. So I'll hide that again. But what fun, isn't it, that we can all be identified as being here. And I see that the ticker tape that I specially sorted out isn't actually going. I don't know what happened there. Shall I have a look at it and see? Banners. I think it's called a banner. And we'll see if it's here. Shall we? Show. Oh, look, there we are. We now have a ticker. Oh, dear, dear, dear. Me and my technology. It's just dreadful, isn't it? So I don't know if you would fancy doing a meditation at this time. And I know that the most popular thing to do is give people messages. But as I can see that there are friends with me, I'll click on comments now, and we've been praying and so on. Perhaps you would. Oh dear, there's a great big wasp. Do excuse me. We don't want to upset the apple cart here, but I'll just put just putting the curtain across, and hopefully it's going to buzz off. There, I even made a joke. It's very large because the window's been open, of course. Now, I think it's time then for us to do a meditation, if you'd like to. And you would find this particular meditation in the book that I've written, the Spiritualist Handbook, as you know, I'm sure. And I can talk you through it. So instead of having to read it as you would in the book, I can talk you through the meditation. And if you have the book, you can refresh your memory with that. And you can listen to me then, because you'll be able to sort of pick out the time, won't you, on the screen when I say it. So, oh, good. Oh, that's lovely. All right then, yes, we'll have a meditation together. That's great, isn't it? You know, meditations lift us up out of the doldrums, lifts us up out of pain and suffering. You know, somehow or other, we actually raise our consciousness so that everything else disappears. And just for those few minutes, we are at one, really, with our loved ones who are on the other side, and ultimately with the Holy Spirit, and ultimately with our Creator. So now, if you're sitting comfortably, or even lying, if that's how you are, I shall begin. Now, close your eyes. Let the cares of your daily life be no part of you for this time. and take 3 regular deep breaths, counting for 3, hold to the count of 3, and out for the count of 3. In, 2, 3, out, 2, 3. In, 2, 3, hold, 2, 3, out, 2, 3. Now, imagine the colour blue. As you breathe in, imagine this lovely blue colour as in the air you are intaking. As you breathe it out, imagine it surrounding you in a bubble of blue. In this way, you will be receiving healing for yourself. Then imagine a big bubble in the middle of the room, filled with lovely blue light, and think of anyone or any animal you know who needs healing of any kind. Put them in that bubble of blue light, but as they would be if they were well and happy. Remember what Ursula said. Remember the health, not the disease or illness. Imagine them well and happy. Imagine them as you would wish them to be, chatting, walking, skipping around, full of obvious health in every way. After a little while, thank the angels, your guides and helpers from the heavenly realms, the spirit dimensions, for their assistance in bringing healing to those you have envisaged, and allow the vision of the bubble of blue light to fade until it is no more, and in your mind's eye the room is as it was when you first closed your eyes. Or if indeed it has faded from your imagination, if you are ordinarily unsighted. Take a deep breath. As you exhale, imagine blowing away all cares and pain from you contained in the blue area that has been surrounding you. Open your eyes and take a drink of water. Blow it all away. Now, I have a drink of water here with a slice of lemon in it. There, delicious. Adam's ale. And Eve's, of course. Eve's ale and Adam's ale. Now, this is one method I say here of performing distant or absent healing. And you can send out this blue light with your healing thoughts or prayers to anyone. It's a non-invasive, non-aggressive way of helping someone in any kind of debilitating situation, and it does work. Whether you tell someone or not that they've been the recipient of your healing and your thoughts and prayers is actually up to you, because sometimes people wouldn't thank you for that, would they? Now, oh, Susan, you say yes. I'll put you on. So I think you can be put on. There we are. Yes, yes. There you are, Susan. You stand convicted of now. I hope that you enjoyed that meditation. And as you can see, it didn't really take very long, but it makes such a difference. It makes such a difference. Just putting some time to one side, once a day to do that would make such a difference to everybody. It makes a difference to ourselves, because I'm sure that you feel better having done that, and to know that you're actually contributing to helping people feeling better. And that's really, really something to be, sought after. Because that's the trouble, isn't it? As I was saying before, we all feel helpless. We see these statistics, but the statistics are people, people suffering and people passing over, and people's families suffering as a result. And, and there are so many people who are on the lower castes, shall we say, of society, who get overlooked, who often so-called respectable people look down upon people who are addicted to drugs, who are homeless, who have lifestyles that are outside of the sociological norms, and how on earth do they get the servicing that they need? And I know that there are people who are very critical, and I find that absolutely abhorrent. And what we have to do, of course, is pray for them too, and say, "Dear Lord, please, give some understanding, some light into the darkness of ignorance, where people are so bigoted and so non-understanding of other people's situation." And as we used to say, let them walk a mile in my shoes, or even stand in my shoes for 5 minutes. If we should all look at that and think, well, there, but for the grace of God go I. When you see people suffering, it's no use saying, oh, they brought it on themselves, because in actual fact, no, they didn't. Nobody brings suffering and pain on themselves willingly. And, people who are caught up in terrible addictions and find themselves in a spiral of illness as well as a result, need our prayers and help. And we need to ask them upstairs if they would put some understanding in the hearts and minds of people who see that as none of their business, and that they don't want to help them. So there we are. That's my bit of preaching. Well, we've done all our praying and we've done our meditation, which I hope that you enjoyed, and I hope that you'll be able to go back to this and find a little spot in it, so you've got a guided meditation there. And I would say that on the YouTube channel, which this isn't actually streaming to, because I thought I wouldn't be able to see anybody's Facebook comments, and I'm still not sure if I am seeing any or not, but I know I'm seeing some, that we have questions that, if there are questions that I can answer, I will do. But I know that these angel card readings were very popular when I did them. I was going to say, of course, yes, they're reminding me over there again. They have to remind me more and more. The older I get, the more that lot over there have to remind me. Excuse me, they're going, you're going on about YouTube. Yes, all right. It was about the other videos that are on YouTube. My YouTube channel, which is Lyn Gibb-de, has loads and loads of meditations on. So do feel free to have a look at them, look through them if you've got a few hours, and decide which ones you might like to do. But yeah, so here we come to the jolly part of our spiritualist journey this afternoon, where we talk about the phenomena of spiritualism. And of course, it is psychic phenomena. And, it's what gave rise to our philosophy and what gives rise to our philosophy. Like I said to you, spiritualism itself is founded on mediumship, and that mediumship is of all different kinds. And in fact, to be a medium, it's usually accepted that you have to be psychic. Now, not all psychics are mediums. In other words, not all psychics actually get to talk to people in the world of spirit, although lots do. And psychic work can be great fun, as we know. But it can also be a little bit dangerous if people get carried away with themselves and they're not actually getting information from spirit. They're getting it from their own intuition, and it may not be totally correct. Because obviously, if you can actually read somebody about how they've been in the past, say for instance you're reading their aura, and you can tell lots of stuff about how they've been and how they are at the moment, you could make sort of what you could call educated guesses about what's going to happen to them in the future. And this is what you might call prediction. And of course, we all have different pathways to our futures. And to give somebody just one off the top of your head, as it were, is an incorrect thing to do, because it can influence them, and it can not be a good thing for them. Now, that's nothing to do with the other sort of more ethical question of whether it's a good idea to know one's future. Because if you just look back, if you want to test that out, look back 5 years in your own life, and say you were starting out at the beginning of that 5 years. If somebody actually told you all the dodgy things that might have happened to you in that last 5 years to now, would you have been happy about that? Possibly not. I know I wouldn't. So perhaps it's just as well to do as St. Paul counselled, which is not to worry about what's in the future. Leave it to the Lord, and step forward, and with courage, and face whatever is going to face you. But quantum mechanics comes into that, quantum physics, because of course, as we know, there are many paths of probability, and sometimes we could actually ourselves be on sort of a parallel path, which that's something else again. Right, so I'm going to start by doing a few little messages. So shall I give messages to the people I can see? And who would like a message? Would anybody like one? Because basically mediums and psychics should always ask if somebody wants a message. If they don't, that's fair enough. If they say no, then it's no. As a medium, I was taught, and I've always taught myself to my students, that you must say, "May I come to you?" If you're on a public platform, "May I come to you? May I give you a communication?" And invariably people will say yes, but don't just drop it on somebody, and certainly don't wander up to people in supermarket and say, "Excuse me, love, but do you know that your mother is with you and wishes you well?" No, do not do that. That's what we call a dripping psychic. And now, oh, Susan, you said yes, please. Oh, goody. All right, I shall put you on there as saying yes, please. There you are. So that's going to be your own fault. There you are. Yes, please, Lynn. Right. So I shall see what I can get for you. There. Now, I shall close my eyes. I shall get prompted. To get 2 cards, 2 little angel cards. Now, I used to think I should just get 1, but then they said no, 2. All right, 2 it is then. Oh, I say, this was for Susan, wasn't it? Commitment and expansiveness. Right, let's start with expansiveness, shall we, Susan? Right, what I pick up from this is that you are given to flights of fancy. You are very expansive in your attitude towards your friends and family. You have this sort of almost like earth motherly feeling around you. And it may be that people think that you've got your head in the clouds all the time. Now, don't be frightened to answer. This is for you, Susan. So we're all really sort of nosy about this. So if you can say yes, no, or what are you on about, that would be really handy for us to know. So there you are. You've got your head in the clouds. And of course you have got, you've got lovely lady with you who I think that you must always want to be free. You don't like to be hemmed in or tied down, and it must make you very irritated with people who try to do that. Oh, right. Oh, yeah, I'm going to put you up there as saying something, Susan. There you are. Ha ha, yes. You see, that is the whole point of this. It's about being cheerful, knowing that we've got people on the other side of life who know us, you know. And at the moment, nobody is telling me anything. I'm just picking this up psychically with a little bit of help, you know, for my friends, because I don't do anything without them. I couldn't. And I would say to you also that you probably quite like the primary colours. You know, there's always this idea that girls like pink. Or I do, but I can see primary colours with you. So probably a love of art. Okay. So Susan, you can say yes or no. And that's I also want to give you a lovely coloured balloon from Spirit, that somebody wants to give you a balloon, and it's almost as if when you were a child you used to like these balloons that you could get on a stick or on a string, and maybe at one point you would have had one of those that you liked until it sort of deflated, which sometimes I feel is probably how you felt in your life. There. Now, commitment. Susan, are you still with me? Oh, good. You've said yes, so I shall put that up because, you know, that's medium's bread and jam. You know, it is recipients of messages saying yes, which is really nice. I don't allow people to say no. Up. There we are. Oh yes, blue. Right. Oh, cool. Yes, 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 yes. And of course, blue is for healing as well, Susan. As I'm sure you know. I'll take that off because you know that's now commitment. I think you probably like somebody to have more commitment to you than you've got. Now, I don't want to cause any discord or disharmony here, but it's probably that, you know, you're the person who does all the committing. That's what I feel, and that other persons don't reciprocate that as much. So you probably always feel a little bit sad about that. But it's just how people are, you know. That's what I have to say to you. And you do have this lady on the other side here who comes close, and I feel, you know, I feel that her fashion sense wasn't always of the essence. I can't tell you what she's wearing. It doesn't look terribly. It doesn't look very well. It's sort of like loose fitting, shall we say? And I think that that's probably how she was most comfortable. And I do feel very grandmotherly with that. So Susan, can you signal us whether that makes sense to you, that your grand liked comfortable clothes and is very close to you, and you must feel that closeness, and trying to give you some upliftment at this time as well. So there you are. That's your message for the day. And we have somebody else. I wonder who that is. Right, I shall put that up. Wonder who that is. Well, I got this very grandmotherly feeling with her. I know about grandmotherly feelings because I have lots of them myself, because I am, of course, one of those. And that's how she made me feel towards you. So that's why I said that. Okay. The clue is, I think the clue is in this sort of comfortable clothing. Right, Tawana Scott. I shall show you. You may. Right. hide that. You can see that I'm not terribly adept at clicking these little messages and things. Now, let's hope I'm, I do have other things. I have most of my family in spirit. Must be my dad's mum. Thank you. Oh, right. Okay. Right. I shall put this up just to show people that it proves that people live on in the spirit. Okay. Good. That's great. Great. Not great that they're all over there, particularly for you. It is for them because, of course, they have a wonderful time, don't they? But her general reading. what makes you think you're getting anything else? Oh, wonderful. Tawana. Right, okay. A general reading you sure have. I feel like the fairy, not the fairy godmother, the fairy grandmother. How about that then? that I think I could lay claim to, if you know what I mean. Now, Tawana, I'm going to get you 2 cards out here, little angel cards. So we've got your angels there waiting. Make sure that I do the right thing by you. Oh, the first angel card I've got for you, Tawana, is forgiveness. And I'm picking up that people haven't been that kind to you in your past at odd times, and you've had to somehow find some forgiveness, which may have been difficult. There you are. So that's straight away. What's going on there, and I think it's amazing, isn't it, that them upstairs can prompt us to sort of, with knowing that we're getting that help, that they can give us these little, they can maneuver it so that we get these little cards and we can get information from them to you. Now the other thing is that that you need to feel more calm, and I think that it's because of the things that have gone on in your life that you found it quite hard sometimes to, especially now when everything seems to be, up the wall and people can't do, and you can't do what you'd like to be doing, and you're somebody who needs to be doing things with other people, and you love to socialize, I would say. Now I'm getting that information from over here. So there. So yeah. So socializing. I think that that's very important for you. And yeah, I need to tell you that, of course, you will have all that again. So you will be all right again. And you're somebody who likes to make special occasions. So I see you, I'm being shown you, sort of setting out a table with nice sort of food on it, things like that. So I think you must like entertaining as well as being entertained. So that I would go. So Tawana, is that correct? I take it that we're going yes on that. There we are. That's good. Now, what else do we get? Light. Now, you set a great store by the light, and you must be a very spiritual person. And, you should not hide your light under, under a bushel, as they call it. Don't hide your light. I think you tend to be a little bit modest, and things that you don't generally shout about or talk about. Is that correct? Yeah. Yeah. I'm just showing people because, you know, like I said before, it's all about proof, isn't it? It's about proof. And like this proves to you, Tawana, that you do have, in fact, a little guardian angel there who I feel is somebody that you would have known, because as she comes here close to me, I feel that this is somebody you knew when you were a child and has since gone over and has been hovering around you, looking after you, basically, ever since. And you have been in some difficult situations that somehow or other you've managed to get, you know, come out of. And what she's saying is, well, of course, that was me. So you've been helped. You've been helped a lot. I also get a lot of energy around you, and I feel that you know, you might have felt the need of extra energy. And I think that, you know, you've had a lot of studying to do. You've had to work things out, and yes, I shall put that yes up as well, so people know. And what's the message? And just to say to you to keep going, keep doing all the right things, and everything's going to be all right. And of course, everybody's worried, but she's actually saying to me that you know, you are a warrior, and to try and put that to one side. And she's saying, you know, try doing some of these meditations would be very good. There you are. So I'll say God bless you, Tawana. I hope that you enjoyed that general reading that you requested. And I remember when I was out in Israel doing readings, people used to ask me all sorts of things, like all stuff about, you know, whether they should invest in something or other, or when they were getting married, or whether they're going to have children and stuff like that. And amazingly, I used to get answers from them over there, and it turned out to be correct. So that was nice to know that, you know, all those yeses count. It's all proof. Now, Shana, can you read some cards for me, please? And Samantha, oh, thanks. Yeah, I was just tired, Samantha. I'll put the question up. So Samantha's asking me if I feel much better. And of course, you know, it's just that, you know, with all the various things that one goes through, one gets tired, really, I'd say. So yes, thank you. I usually feel good during the day, and in the evening I tend to get a bit tired and have to go to bed and have a rest and stuff like that. But thank you, Samantha. Now, Shana, you want cards, right? Two cards coming up for Shana, right? Oh, that's cool. I'm going to put your thanks up. There we are. There. Now, Shana, communication, Shana. Communication. And of course, our communication has always been a little bit difficult because of the language thing. But it shows me here that you are excellent at communication. That in fact it might even be something to do with the work that you do. That this communication is so important in your life. So Shana, can you tell me, communicate with me and all our friends, whether that's true of you? Because this is what I get, that you know, this communication not only is very important to you, but that you are very good at it. Okay, although I know that our communication between us is a bit, you know, I couldn't quite pronounce your name, I remember, and stuff like that when we were messaging each other, passing the time of day as we do sometimes. I'm a hairdresser. Oh, wow. Oh, wow. No wonder. Yeah. Yeah. I bet you never stop chatting with your customers. There. That's wonderful. And of course, that hairdressers are also healers. And there's somebody over here who was a hairdresser and who's saying to me, "Oh, yes, we are very good healers because people come and sit and they tell us all their troubles, and when they leave, they feel much better because they have had their head massaged and they look better, and we've heard all their troubles. We might feel depressed after that, but they go out feeling wonderful. And I've got a feeling that happens to you a lot. That you worry about your customers or their troubles, but that you manage to sort of rise above that. And why? Because here's your second card: inspiration. So you are inspired. You have an inspired attitude to life. You have, something where sometimes you feel down. You're able to rise above that, and you actually inspire other people. There you are, Shana. If you can say yes or no to that, don't be modest, because really, I feel that you do a great deal for other people. You do a great deal for them, and you are their inspiration, and you've been an inspiration to many people. So there, I think that, and some of how you've been able to help people, the angels over there are actually saying that you have been an angel yourself down here. You have been the instrument of helping others in such a way that they have felt that you are an angel. So they might have even called you that. There. So you see, you're an inspiration, Shana, and you will receive inspiration as well. So there, you're going to have a very good summer. That's what I get told. So, and also that there are 4 people in your life who are very important to you there. And I think there's an animal too. There we are. Oh, good. We have a yes. That's good. Right. So, you're very welcome, Shana. You're very welcome. And the other thing is that sometimes, messages can go on an awful long time, can't they? You can be in a spiritualist service. And I used to be told that really 10 minutes is top whack for a message. If it gets any longer than that, it counts as a private reading. So I like this sort of idea of just 5 minutes, because otherwise you can't get around to so many people, can you? Because if you're in a spiritualist service, in the ordinary sense of the word, you're in a hall or a church hall, and you can only get a certain amount of people in there, and only a certain amount of people are going to have a message. Everybody else has got to take what they can from those messages, and just to note the proof of survival that they get from them when they hear other people agreeing with the medium and the messages they get. But here, of course, I think that the more messages you can get to people, the better it is, because you're giving them more proof. So I'll just do another couple, because as mentioned by Samantha, I did do a talk yesterday, and it went on for an hour and 22 minutes, and I did feel very tired after that. So I actually retired to my bed quite early. So there we are. Now I'll look to see who else would like. Andrea from Canada would love a reading. Well, I've just picked out 2 cards for you, Andrea. I'll just put that request up. Oh, look, there's your face as well. There we are. So Andrea, love a reading. All right, okie dokie. Let's see what I picked out. So I wasn't looking at your note. I just allowed myself to choose. Well, I got freedom and authenticity. Well, first of all, you're from Canada, so you do live in freedom, which is wonderful in the general sense. But I suspect you would like a bit more. I pick up that you are a very free spirit, and you don't like being constrained. So all this virus stuff has come as a very great sort of problem to you, because it's sort of restricting you in that way, and you put a high premium on your own freedom and the freedom of other people to enjoy their lives as they wish. And I feel that you're a very liberal person in a lowercase l, that you are very moderate in your views, and you care very much about other human beings. But I also feel that you care about your surroundings, that you care about nature. And if you can say yes or no, Andrea, that would be cool. But certainly I get the fact that now you are, as far as I know, you're very drawn to water, which of course is magic. Well, we wouldn't exist without it, would we? But on the less mundane level, on a spiritual level, water is very magical. And I feel that you feel the power of water when you're near water. And also this links up to this freedom, this idea of freedom, that you look on the sea and, the planet as being sort of boundless, that there are all sorts of possibilities. And I feel that you have your eye on the horizon quite a lot, that you can see further than people give you credit for. That's what I think. And you probably make your decisions based on that you can actually sort of in a way sort of guess at what's going to happen if certain things go on, and you can caution against that. So that's what I get. Oh, you love water. I'll put that up if you don't mind, Andrea, because that also, it all sort of adds to the jollity, because it's very important for us to feel cheerful at the time. There we are. That's good. That's good. And now, and sunshine, of course, which I think sometimes you don't get enough of. There we are. That's what I think. Authenticity. You only like authentic people. You don't like false things. You like things that are real. There you are. You can say yes or no to that if you don't mind, Andrea, because that it's quite important for us to be jollied along here, and to know that good things are going on. And those who love us in the world of spirit are actually prompting me to do all this stuff. And also that I would say that you like, sort of old things, not like me, for instance, but you value things that have stood the test of time. That's what I'm being told now. Okay. And I feel that you do have a group of spiritual people in the world of spirit who help you along. And I feel that you're very sort of tuned into that sort of, other existence, that other dimension, that you're well aware that this is not all there is. And we've got a yes there, so I'll show that. Right. Right. So now, I think also I want to give you the fact that you have a big heart, and that sometimes you are taken advantage of, and that you've got to protect yourself a little more because you tend to get hurt. Not that you would admit to that much, but that's what I get, all right? And to say to you to look after yourself. The ladies are in full swing tonight over there, and I'm being told by a lovely lady over there that you've really got to look after yourself better. You like to look after everybody else, but you should be looking after yourself, all right? So I hope, Andrea, that, oh, right, yeah. Well, you see, the thing is that those who love us on the other side of life, when they give us information about ourselves, they know because they know us. And I don't know you, but they know you. So, yes. And I think, that that also that little message, whatever it was, I've forgotten it now, very important for you. Okay? So I'll say God bless. Now, I'll take a sip. Right, I'll write down 2 names. So Estelle and where have you gone? Nikki. Right. Estelle and Nikki. I will get a couple of angel cards for you. Tend to look after everyone else and not myself. True. Yeah, well, I've just said that. Yeah, absolutely. Well, that's what I was told. Yeah. Isn't it good? Isn't it good that there are there are people in the world of spirit who are so close to us that they know all about us, and it's just wonderful, and it should really cheer everybody up. Now I've got 2 people. Estelle, I shall now look, Estelle, for cards for you, angel cards. Okay. And see what I can do. And after that is Nikki. Now, okay. Right, Estelle first. I get play. That's very important, Estelle, for you, because I feel that you have not been able to express much happiness of late, and they're saying over there that it wasn't just by chance that this card was chosen, and there is somebody else that you are missing. That means that you don't feel like playing much. And there you've got somebody on the other side that you miss a lot. Where are you, Estelle? I can't find you. This all sort of this sort of rides up. Estelle, I've put you up there. Oh, there's your doggy. Be kind. Oh, put you up there so you know that I'm doing a reading for you. Now, there is somebody over there, as I said, that I feel that you're missing, and it sort of takes away some of the playfulness from you, because I feel that as you've got older, you've lost that that sort of playfulness that you had. There's so many different things have happened to you. That's what I'm being told. All right. But that you have got to know that everybody is still close to you, looking after you, and this to try and pick up on this playfulness, and I think as well that you've been disappointed, very disappointed, that you haven't been able to go about your, your everyday business as you would like, and certainly when it comes to recreation, that you haven't been able to express yourself in the way that you would like. So I think that play is very, very important to you, and perhaps you'll get a chance to play rather than be so serious when things get better. And I do get towards the autumn for that. Now, Estelle, you haven't come in and said anything, but I'm hoping. Oh, there you are. I just found you. Sorry. There. That's good. I put you up saying that because, as we know, we have to cheer everybody up with our messages. And to know that our loved ones are so close, you see, that they know all about us. Now, don't let it worry you too much, but that's what I always say. Try and be as good as you can. Now, the next thing I get for you, Estelle, is gratitude. Now, I know you've thanked me for this, but I think you tend to be too grateful to people for doing just the right thing. I think that you tend to what's the way I don't know what the word would be, to sort of be to think that people are really good because they do nice things, and be grateful to them, when really they're things that they should just be doing anyway. And I think that a lot of people are grateful to you actually for what you've done for them. So I'm sure that that you understand that as well. So really, there's a lot of gratitude as well from those on the other side of life. Now, it's the kind of gratitude you get when you've looked after people. So I don't know if that's the case for you, or if that's what you've been doing or you've done, but at least there's at least one person over there who's thanking you for looking after them. So I will say that to you. And also, I can see that there are some sort of rather nice, well, it's giving me the idea that there are animals over there as well for you. So why they've come through, I don't know, because I can't see them on the card. I can see them over there. But certainly I would say that if you've been thinking about sort of sorting through your wardrobe, this is the time to do it for sure. So there. I'd say that on the wardrobe thing, you've been probably trying things on and seeing if they still fit and stuff like that, whether you want to keep them or not. So that's the feeling that I get with this person over here. I think it's a lady. She sort of, it's almost like she's going through your clothes and sort of saying, well, you could throw that out, and that's not very good, and I think that's a bit small and stuff like that. So if that's been going on, do let us know. Right, so I hope, Estelle, that has cheered you somewhat. And the next person is Nikki. Oh, I was right as well. That's good. There. Cool. That's cool. Right. Right. Nikki, where art thou? Nikki. Right, here you are, Nikki. Nikki is going to have a reading. There's Nikki. There you are. Right. Okay, here we go. So, Nikki, this is the we say the last little reading that I could manage to do, I think, because it's been rather a long time now. Right, I get support, and I get, hold on a minute, clarity. Now, for support, I see you being supported by the angels. There you are. So I feel that you've had quite a lot on your plate, that you've had a lot to deal with, especially over the last few weeks. And you've probably been feeling you're at the end of your tether, what with one thing and another, and the duties that you have. That's what I feel. And you've had all this support, but perhaps you haven't really felt that you've been supported. But certainly they want you to know that you are getting all of this support. And there's a whole host of those in the world of spirit who are trying to help you. And it's not just people you don't know either. I believe there are relatives of yours over there who are joining in with that angel chorus of trying to help you to actually sort of deal with everything that you've had to deal with, and to stop you going completely sort of mad with it all. There you are. Do you want to say whether that's true or not, so that we can all join in? Right. The thing is this, that that support is always there, and all you have to do is ask. So everybody who's in a bit of shtuck at the moment and gets into a state with everything, and you think, oh, you know, how am I going to cope with this any longer? You just stop what you're doing, stop everything, and you just send out your thought. Can I have some help, please? And then tell them what's going on. And you will suddenly feel as if that weight has been lifted. When you open your eyes and you get on to do the same thing that you were going to do anyway, you will find you can do it with a more lightness of heart. Now, I'm telling you the truth. I've done it myself, so I know it works. So don't forget that those we love in spirit are often the angels that we imagine in sort of, you know, in robes and wings and everything. Actually, they are our loved ones in spirit who have been delegated and designated to help us through things down here, because on that vibration of love. Okay, so that's really important for you to know, Nikki. Oh, I will say, we'll show people that it's true, because it's important. It's important for people to know that, you know, I'm not just babbling on like a babbling brook, that I am actually getting information and I can relay it, and it's truthful, and it's proof that those we love are still around us, and there are such things, if you like, as angels in various different guises. Now, so much for the support, and also it's like they're sort of building a wall around you so that you can feel protected and don't feel vulnerable, because you've been feeling vulnerable apparently, I'm being told. Okay, I won't say too much more about that because it's sort of private. And if you remember, I was saying that you know, private readings are different to public readings, right? So, and the other one I got was clarity. And that's what you like. You like things to be clear. You can't stand all this garbage that goes on. You're thinking, well, what's that mean? What's that mean? You know, why can't they speak plain English? Why can't they just talk, you know, tell us about stuff? What's going on? So you really are somebody who seeks clarity in everything. You don't like people that beat around the bush and you know, go into one, as you might say, instead of just telling you directly what they're thinking or what's going on. And I think sometimes that's probably put you at odds with people, because you can see them for what they are as well. So you have a clear view of other people as well, and sometimes that's made you a bit disliked. But it's better to know the truth, don't you think? I agree with you on that one. And I'll put that up that it's true. And I think also that what you need to do also is not worry so much. You know, worrying makes no difference whatsoever to anything. It doesn't grow one hair on your head. It does not do anything for you whatsoever. Worrying just makes you feel rough. And it's much better just to do, as I said, which is just to close your eyes for a minute. If you feel terrible, ask your helpers to help you. If you've got a loved one in the world of spirit, ask them by name. There's nothing wrong with doing that. If you've got a John over there, for instance, where are you, Nikki? All right. If there's a John who's over there in spirit, you ask him for a bit of help, all right? Because that's what they're there for, basically. So I say God bless you. And I'd be fascinated to know who this John is, by the way. And so would we all, if you could let us know. But there. So I've come to the end of my lollipop, really. I hope that you have enjoyed our little time together. And don't forget that you can access meditations and more videos that I've made over time on the YouTube channel, which is Lyn Gibb-de. I do have a website, www.lynguestdeswalt.com, because that was my name before I got married to Kathy. And there is the Spiritualist Handbook, of course, available on Amazon if you want to read all about it. And I do contribute every month to the Psychic World newspaper. And you can get that on subscription. And it's, I don't know the address straight away, but I expect if you put Psychic World newspaper into Google or something, you get it, get the address and so on. But that's a subscription of £15 a year, including postage, for 12 issues, £20 if you're abroad. And you get it from the Psychic World Publications Department. And I'll put it up on my Facebook page. That's what I'll do, so that you can, if you wish to. And I write an article every month on their page 3. I always wanted to be a page 3 girl. Now I am. And I hope that you've enjoyed our little chat together and little messages that I've done. And well, nothing more to say except God bless you, keep you safe from harm, bless all your loved ones. May you all receive healing and comfort, and know that you are not alone. You are never alone. And we have the answers. There you are. So nothing wrong with spiritualism, is there? Well, I say God bless you. And now I'm hoping that everything will go all right for you. And I'll speak to you again soon. Oh, there we are. I have to look to see where everything is. End broadcast. Bye. God bless you.